Welcome to week 10 of the Business Management Capstone course. You are already 2/3 of the way finished with this class. So let's go ahead and jump right into the assignments for this week. You will need to read Chapter 8 and review the PowerPoint presentation for Chapter 8. Complete the course participation assignment, the Chapter 8 Learn Smart, the case study, the Globus Simulation 3-year strategic plan, years 12 through 14. Keep in mind I will post your previous 3-year strategic plan years 9 through 11 grade within Blackboard this coming week. The Globus Simulation Year 12 report. Globus Simulation decisions for Year 12. Last but not least, the Chapter 8 quiz also. So the first assignment, the course participation diversification strategy. In order for any company to survive, for the most part, they need new products, new markets to sustain growth. This week you will analyze the company and inform your fellow students as to how that company applied the diversification strategy method to ensure that they were able to sustain growth well into the future. So the assignment instructions, of course, choose a company and identify how they were able to diversify their company strategy. Make sure you provide examples that support your response. Of course, review the posts of your peers, and last but not least, provide a comment on at least 2 posts. For some reason, I still have a few students only responded to 1 post. I haven't deducted any points yet. Just make sure you now are responding to at least 2 posts. Majority of you are, and the replies are fantastic, so please keep it up. Next, we have the Chapter 8 Learn Smart, the Chapter 8 quiz, and the case study, which you should be familiar with by now, how to complete those assignments. Then we have the Globus Simulation 3-year strategic plan, year 12 through 14. Then again, you just completed years 9 through 11 strategic plan. So you know it's within Globus. That's where all the information is. That's where you put in, that's where you insert your input. Grade will be posted for year 9 through 11 this week in Blackboard, and for 12 to 14, I won't be able to post a grade until the end of 14. So just keep that in mind. I know I received a few emails asking about the grades. You can review those grades in Globus, but the final strategic plan grades won't be there until the end of year 11 for the first one and year 14 for the second one. Next, we have the Globus Simulation Year 12 report. Really, hardly any complaints. Everyone's doing a great job. Majority of companies are mixing it up. Nice cover page, graphics tables. Just the overall formatting is fantastic. With that said, and I mentioned this in the previous video, I'm no longer going to force you to come up with a different style if you don't want to. I hope you do, but I'm not going to take off if you like your style and you want to run with it, as long as you continue enhancing your style. And next we have the Globus Simulation Year 12 decisions. Then again, everyone at least knows how to get into Globus, and they're trying their best. I just actually had the pleasure of speaking to Raven, and she was concerned about her decisions. And what I was telling her, and I like to tell the group, is don't worry about being first. I hope you are, but if you're not, only one person, or I should say one team, can be first. So does that mean 2nd through 11 is terrible? No. Look for growth. That's what I'm looking for. So if you're dead last and you stay dead last, but you did grow, I can live with that. Okay. To me, all the assignments within the Capstone class hopefully is continually have you analyze. Okay. If you're not first in Globus, but you're last, you continue analyzing your decisions and getting better and better. That's what I need. Okay. That's what I want you to get out of this class, is continually learn how to analyze, how to get better and better and better. So let's go ahead and jump in Globus and look at the year 11 results. Okay, as we look at the year 11 scoreboard, instantly you can see, of course, Team E is on top of the year. With that said, though, they had no change from year 10. So that would have gave a lot of teams an opportunity to try to really catch up. But as you can see, C and F and some other ones dropped, with H dropped 16 points, which really hurt them. And even J dropped 7. Then you look at the bottom of the list, the teams that normally I'm kind of picking on and trying to get motivated. But in the grand scheme of things, you know, G, they only lost 1 point, and 11 actually gained 1. So really, compared to most everyone else's outcome, it's really not that bad. So you really have to analyze the data before you just strictly look at the number of E 101 weighted score and, Team I 65. Like I've said before, there can only be one number one. So it's really then becomes about what you're doing. Are you growing? So let's go ahead and look at now the game to date with the year 11 scores taken into account. Then again, Team E is still on top. They have 106. As you can see, they have a bigger lead there compared to D, which is 94. Now, just to let everyone know, I know D had an issue with their decisions about being saved. So make sure you are saving your decisions, because technically they didn't really get their decisions in for year 10 because of the different ways it was being saved at a given moment in time. So make sure only one person, if you're doing it as a group, make sure only one person is saving your decisions if you're talking about it, and having one person make the changes as you go along. Now, of course, if you're doing it individually, by all means, you can make your changes and save it. With that said, if you don't split up your areas, and if one team member goes in there and makes changes, the other team member makes changes also, if you don't communicate, you could be, of course, making changes to their changes or to their decisions. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're working as a team. Team E's really got a big jump on everyone right now. It's going to be very difficult to catch them unless Team D and C and even F and A and H, I would still say, makes a big move. If you make a big move, then I would say you have a slight chance of catching them. Otherwise, they're just going to run away with it, and it will just be a race for a second. So hopefully we get more teams involved with the top spot. Makes it a little bit more exciting. But with that said, just keep on trying no matter what position you're in. All right, the earnings per share, as you can see, year 11 was a tough year. We only had 3 teams that met expectations, with the highest one being 917, which is Team E. Everyone else was below expectations. Now, with that said, as you're glancing through the data, majority of teams went up. So it's not like just because you didn't meet expectations doesn't mean you went down. It's just the expectations went up. Next, we have return on equity. Now, half of you met expectations, so great job when it comes to the return on equity. And everyone but, it looks like, Team G was able to increase their return on equity. So even though they didn't meet expectations, they're moving in the right direction. So watch out, Team G. It wasn't that big of a drop, so not too big of a concern. But keep an eye on that. Stock price. Year 11, we only had one team to meet expectations, and what do you know? It's Team E. So no shock there at 256, so blown away the competition, as you could tell. So obviously, I'm really going to challenge all the other teams to start analyzing what E's doing. You have a lot of reports that it doesn't give everything away, but it gives enough away to where you can start knocking at their door if you wanted to, if you're actually analyzing the data. No one else met expectations. Couple teams went up, couple teams went down. As long as you don't have any big dips, which quick glance, I don't really see anyone have a big dip. It looks like Team A went from 170 to 165. That's within reason, depending on what they're trying behind the scenes. That could be expected. And everyone else, they moved up. Not that big of a jump, but everyone moved up. And even E, they moved up, but just by a couple of dollars. But they did move up, and they are meeting expectations, as you can see. So keep that in mind. Credit rating, everyone has an A, A minus, A plus, except Team J. I mentioned last week I was not really that concerned with them. Now I'm starting to be, because now this is 2 years in a row that they got a B plus. And my fear would be year 12 they drop to a B or B minus, which that will definitely just take them out of the game. So Team J, really watch yourself with the credit rating. MH rating, most of you met expectations, with Team C leading the charge. MH rating is kind of tricky. It's, yes, you have to have a good score, but it's kind of almost like the credit rating. I don't believe it has to be the best score. So Team E, as you can see, they have 83. They're not even in second place with image rating, but they're leading the charge in all other categories. Just keep that in mind. I just don't want you to lose out because you're so worried about image rating. Most of you are doing fine. It looks like Team I did drop 4 points. Now, of course, I wouldn't recommend that at all. I would say stay in the mix, just like E's doing it perfect. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. So they're kind of in the hunt with image rating. I believe they're having a great strategy looking at image rating that way. So that's as far as I'm going to go with the data. So as always, please contact me if you have any questions. Some people are. If you have an issue with your team, that's what I'm here for. I do not want any individual to be frustrated because team members are not pulling their weight. Put that on me, okay? Contact me and I'll take care of it one way or another. I want everyone to focus on the material, focus on Globus, not hunting down team members because they won't do what they should be. This is the Capstone project class. You should be conducting yourself as such. Most of you are going to be graduating, so you want to, go out on top. So just keep that in mind. So with that said, I hope everyone has a great week. Take care.